So, all right. So we continue with laws of Yom Tov, and we're in chapter 14. Very interesting topic, and we discussed last time extensively about smoking. Right. So we said that today, since it was a consensus of all of this poskim that it's not good for the health, hazardous, so it cannot be considered benefit of the most people, right? Where we said if most of the people are going to benefit, for example, from food, from a hot drink, from hot tea or coffee or something, for soup, right? Or meat or fish, whatever. So everybody would benefit. That's very straightforward, right? But to say smoking in olden days, as we said, people thought maybe it's good for digestive system, but maybe it's a little good for a digestive system, but it's very good for a cancer, even better for a cancer. Okay, so we try to stay away. Okay, but of course, since there is some dissenting opinions, so we said that if person is like heavy smoker and he cannot live without cigarettes, so let him smoke. But somebody who just smokes like occasionally, not allowed to smoke. Okay, so continue part number 3. Halachos relevant to smoking. The remainder of this chapter will deal with the various halachas relevant to smoking on Yom Tov, and those who follow the poskim that permit smoking. Our discussion on this is no way to mean to imply final decision on the matter of whether smoking is permitted. Okay, so but when we learn in Halachos Dios, right, about Rambam advice, right? It's not halacha, but about healthy lifestyle. So that we had the introduction. I don't remember, like few pages introduction, and this person, the translator, he explained very carefully, right? And halacha is actually as he said. So today we have to take into consideration, of course, what Rambam said. It was absolutely 100% true and pure according to his time, according to his medical knowledge, and he had amazing medical knowledge, as we understand, right? But if something like proved differently in today's days and age, so you're not allowed to follow what Rambam said, and because he went to only on scientific knowledge, right? So today, for example, if people they eat different food and the air is different, water is different, everything is different, our lifestyle is different, right? So the food that in the Rambam's days were good, but today maybe they are GMO, processed food. It's a disaster. You understand? So we have to go many times by what contemporary poskim say, right? Not poskim based on current science advances, right? So same is here. If today is I don't think any normal person would say that smoking is actually good. Of course, we say the first cigarette is not going to kill you. Of course, there is you cannot say if it's a person was smoking for 10 years and this one more cigarette is going to damage his health. Maybe it's going to damage, but it's not you cannot exactly scale how much it's going to damage. You understand? But on the other hand, it says clearly in Torah that we must watch our health. Period. So, and even if it's a small probability that this cigarette or one cigarette, right? It doesn't matter how small the probability is. It's going to damage the person's health. It's not allowed to smoke, right? And needless to say, they do with drugs or some other things, like alcohol, like I said, right? So all of these things absolutely forbidden, not good for our health and service of HaShem. Okay, so continue. So we're going into all of these halachas that connected to smoking. Lighting a cigarette, cigar, or a pipe. Okay. As we previously learned in chapter 12, it is forbidden to create new fire on Yom Tov. Consequently, one may not strike a match or use a cigarette lighter light this to light a cigarette, cigar, or a pipe on Yom Tov. So that's why, like, not in order of, for smoking, but for lighting candles and other things. So you need always a burning flame. If you have a gas stove, that's good. If you don't, you have your side candle, the 48 hours candles, or some, like a few times, I don't know, or one time we ran out of the candles and did not check. So there is still no problem. We burned one 24 hours candle. And from that, we took light and lit another 24 hours candle. There is no problem whatsoever. Okay. So, but if person wants to smoke, so he needs to take the light from pre-existing flame, meaning that you have a match or with whatever you want to take the light. I mean, if you have a candle. And it's like a regular candle, for example, you can simply like smoke, like take the fire from there, or take with a match, like put a match in a fire, and then like start from the match. Continue. One may light cigarette, etc. From existing flame, okay, apologies, I already said it, from candle or gas flame, okay. Another lit cigarette or red hot electric element. Okay, so from all of these sources of heat. So which is, according to our halacha, it's considered to be fire. It should be lit directly from existing flame, since the use of the medium to transfer the fire, for example, match or toothpick, would constitute unnecessary kindling. Of course, if you're afraid that your beard, your I don't know, like your hair can catch a fire, so of course you're allowed to use the medium. But if it's not necessary, so don't use it. If one is unable to light the cigarette directly from existing flame, the use of medium is permitted, as we said. So okay, continue. B. Extinguish a cigarette, cigar, or pipe. We learned in the previous chapter that the melacha of extinguishing is generally prohibited on Yom Tov. Right? As we said, even for not constructive purpose. It is therefore prohibited to extinguish cigarette. When one completes smoking a cigarette, he should place it down gently on a dry surface and leave it to burn itself out. So on a dry surface, he said it specifically. Why? Because you cannot put it on a wet surface, so it's going to be like indirectly, but it's going to be extinguishing. If it burns out, there is no problem. Okay. And I guess same with cigar. I'm not sure. I think people smoke cigar and not in one time. Not in one setting, but I think they smoke like in few settings. I'm not sure, but I think so. Okay, pipe also just set it there. Okay. Continue. C. Tapping a cigarette. It is forbidden to tap a cigarette forcefully in order to have ashes fall off the tip. The tapping causes the burning ashes to fall to the ground and be extinguished almost immediately. So again, the tapping of the cigarette from the ashes, it's melacha of extinguishing. Okay. So, but he said forcefully, meaning if you tap just a little, that's not a problem. Continue. Burning of imprinted words. Most manufactured cigarettes are imprinted with the brand name toward the end of the cigarette. Okay, the poskim disagree whether or not this smoking a cigarette to this point constitutes violation of prohibition of mahek, erasing. Many poskim forbids it. However, there are several poskim who permits it. Initially, it is best for one to abide by stringent view in this matter. The following two methods that enable one to avoid the problem. So let's, before we continue, so what is the problem? So you have a cigarette, and on a cigarette there is a brand, Marlboro or whatever, Parliament, whatever cigarette brand is, right? So what is the problem? One of the 39 melachas that we cannot erase, even for destructive purpose, right? Erase something that is written. Written meaning what? Letters or some symbols, that meaningful symbols. You have a smiley face, whatever meaningful symbol. You have a flower, right? Whatever you have. So it is like simple shapes. There is no problem. Like a curly line or line, just a triangle, rectangle. There is simple shapes. There is no problem. But more like complex shapes, it is a problem, right? And here he said you have a closer to the filter, right? You have this wording with the name of the company, right? Which is some poskim say it's like because whatever you did, right? You lit the cigarette, you smoke, right? And now you're going to erase these letters. It's a problem, but some poskim say it's not a problem, right? So the solution is, number one, to stop puffing before reaching the imprinted words, meaning you stop a little before you put it down, and it's going to burn by itself, right? So for sure, indirectly, you're not benefiting from this whatsoever. That's first solution. And second, to bolt out the words with the ink before Yom Tov. So it's very interesting. I mean, I would never make this up. So it's very interesting. So they say if there is if you put some ink, blot it out, this word, this Marlboro, whatever it says, that there's no problem. There's no problem. You're not erasing. There is nothing to erase. Very interesting. Next one, opening a closed pack of cigarettes. That's another issue, right? It is preferable to open a pack of cigarettes before Yom Tov. If this was not done, according to many authorities, it should open only in destructive manner, such as cutting down a side in L shape. Okay, so according to most poskim, right, and we're not allowed to create opening. I mean, it's actually it's not according. It's like a separate melach. We're not allowed to create opening, and we're not allowed to create a vessel, something new. So vessel, what was it in vessel? Something that it can be reused. So this box, it was like it was closed, sealed. So it like cigarette pack, right? So it was sealed, was not used. So now when we open this smoker, right? Or open first time on Shabbos, so he creates a usable vessel, and it's not allowed. And same with if you wanted to open the pack of cereal, even cookies on Shabbos, all of these things, and Yom Tov, so you have to destroy it. So how you destroy it? You do L shape, right? You cut it like this. So of course, you take scissors like this and like this. So meaning you open the box of cookies, so it is totally unusable, for sure, right? I mean, you can keep cookies there, but that's you show that you're not interested in packaging. And that's what he said that we have to do with this pack of cigarettes. Next one. Carrying a pack outdoors. Due to the principle increasing the amount, see chapter 4 and 15. Okay, 15 is also here. No, apologies. 15 is the next chapter. It is permitted to carry the entire pack of cigarettes outdoors, even one certain that he will not need the whole pack. Okay, so in chapter 4 of increasing, we were talking about the food, right? So if you have, if you're making whatever you're making, right? And let's say you cook the pieces of chicken, so it doesn't matter. So and you can do in the same settings, right? In almost exactly the same exertion, right? So you just took raw pieces of chicken, put in the pot, right? So it doesn't matter, like to put extra water does not make any difference. Put a little extra salt, pepper, all of these spices does not make any difference, right? It's not extra effort, and plus it's going to cook in one setting. So exactly like it's going to cook exactly like 2 hours and 15 minutes, whether it's 3 pieces of chicken or 4 pieces of or 7 pieces of chicken, because you make the flame a little larger, but that's it. So meaning this increase does not make any difference. And in transporting, we're going to say, since it is allowed to transport something on Shabbos or Yom Tov, I apologize, we're talking about Yom Tov. On Shabbos we're not allowed to transport, like unless you have Eruv, then there is no problem whatsoever. But on Yom Tov, since you're allowed to transport, even there is no Eruv, so I would say you don't have to count. Same as with this chicken. So if you like, even if the guy is going to smoke only 3 cigarettes, so he can take the pack of 18, let's say, whatever is left 18, there is no problem. Same with diapers, right? Or you took facial tissues, right? You have the whole pack. I don't know how many in the pack, like 20 for the 30. So you need maybe one, maybe you're not going to need any of that, right? But you can carry all of them. Diapers and baby wipes, all of these things. You don't have to count. Okay, so we finished the smoking. Any issues or any questions on what we said about smoking?
Hello?
Yes.
So, say if a person lights a fire unintentionally on Yom Tov, so would this person be forbidden from turning it down?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And additionally, he would not be allowed to benefit from it either.
Benefit, yes. Also, no benefit. Yes, correct. Yes. Okay. What else? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a question. HaShem question. Could it be considered deleting a letter if the letter was made on top of a challah? For example, an aleph? Thank you very much, Rabbi.
That's a very, very good question. It's about 100% an issue. It is an issue. So you have here's a practical example. You put some letter, and it's actually, I said it's simple. It's not so simple. If it was baked together with the challah, like in one piece, maybe there is no problem. But if it was added before, that would be the problem, because it's this aleph is not something separate. If they added like after and combine 2 things together, that would be the problem. So you would not be allowed to cut the letter. So to cut around the letter, right, and then there is no problem whatsoever. And this class is bothering me. Sorry. So the best example would be cakes, right? When you make a cake, you bake a cake, and then you put all the cream on top. If you put the cream, and then you have some decorations. So if some people they put nice decorations, and let's say they put flowers, like it's a complete flower. So that would be a problem to cut this flower. You understand? So you have to cut in between the flour. If person eats, that's normal. It's not considered to be a raisin. It's considered a normal way of eating, right? But for example, in the Jewish circle, the bakeries, nobody put like happy birthday on a cake. For example, a child's birthday is on Shabbos, on Friday, whatever was it, right? And you want a happy birthday, so they put a happy birthday on a plate of chocolate, right? There is thing of chocolate, so you can always take out. He wants to eat this chocolate, let him the chocolate, but you can cut the whole cake, and they would not make specifically like any flowers or any meaningful shapes. They put like circles, this and that. So, but it's not meaningful shapes, and you can cut. But if you already bought this cake, for example, and you bought a cake from non-Jewish supermarket, let's say, right, and it's kosher for you, let's say, right, and there is some flowers possible. I mean, because it's not necessary that people would buy this cake for Shabbos, right? So, Kashrus company says that it's kosher. All ingredients are kosher. All of this baking procedure is kosher. That's what they certify. But in this case, so you have to cut between the letters. Let's say there is a happy birthday right on the cake. Let's say, right? So you would cut between the letters, not destroying the letters. Or another option, you take the whole cream, like lettuce with a little bit on the bottom, so in order not to destroy them. Then you can eat the cake. Okay. But I think if I remember correctly, if it was baked as one piece, like this challah on top of olive, there is no problem. Okay.